And hello, it's that D-O-double-G, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast. And the two of us, your viewers and I, we need look no more because we've both found what we've been looking for. With a friend to call my own, you'll never be alone because you've got a friend in me. And welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well and had just a lovely time. I hope everybody has just had a lovely time. And as always, I am not alone. And I've got friends with me who are always running here and there. And you may feel you're not wanted anywhere. But if you look behind and don't like what you find, there's something you should know. Hannah, you've got a place to go. And that is here. How are you this evening?
Thanks, Josh. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, so I'm here with you lot. And it's not just the two of us, because I don't listen to a word they say, because they don't see you as I do. I wish they'd try to. And I'm sure they'd think again if they had a friend like Lucas, my other friend. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just reveling it. I'm reveling in the joy of being here with you. And in the chat, we've got Graham. Graham's in early doors, banging it in. Thank you for joining us, sir. And I hope you're doing well. And it was a lovely weekend of football. Lots of games, lots of boring games. But I think we'll start off on a happy note because it's just a lovely way to start. We'll start on a positive note for Hannah. Hannah has had to deal with a whole load of garbage all season. The worst start for 34 years. Rectified at last with it's 3 points. It's 3 points. United 2, Brentford 1. Hannah, how did that make you feel?
Well, up until the 93rd minute, very upset. That was crazy. Do you know what? It was really fun in the end because obviously we got the win, we got the 3 points so needed before we go into the international break, because it would have looked a whole lot different had we lost at home again to Brentford. No disrespect to Brentford, but that should be an easy win. Yeah, I mean, it's just where to start with our Premier League form. I mean, it's not very good. My main concern for us right now is obviously our injuries. It's just crazy. Our defensive injuries are crazy. Like in 2030, God, I'm not there yet. In 2023, we are going out against, good, strong teams with Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Diogo Dalot, and
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, that's it. Thank you.
The Bulls' voice of a defender.
I mean, that's not a serious backline. Like, again, no disrespect to these players. For example, Dalot is a great player, but not with these other players with him. I mean, typical of me to say that when Harry Kane, what's wrong with me tonight? Harry Maguire, was good. He was good on Saturday, but yeah, it's stressful. But we got the win. I mean, it was lovely to get that, the Fergie time win after the passing of Lady Cathy. That was really fitting. That was lovely. But to get 2 goals in 3 minutes, I was like, it was crazy. I think I was about to turn my TV off, and I got a notification because my stream was a bit behind. I was like, I've had enough. Another loss at home. But yeah, really fun in the end, of course. But you can't go through games trying to win like that. A win is a win, and of course, win how you can. Always find a way to win. But it looks like we're going to lose, and then obviously what happened was great, but that's not going to happen every game. We should be 3-0 up at 92 minutes. So amazing, but also not so amazing. There was positives and negatives to take, as I'm sure you can understand.
I mean, and just to catch with the chat as well, Simon is here. Thank you for joining us, Simon. And Lisa, thank you for coming in. And Graham saying it was Cathy time. And a Scott McTominay double and a Maguire assist. What a time to be alive. And Ducks, thank you for joining us in chat. Somewhat a trio. And it's McTominay's world, and we'll just live in it. I mean, it was, I love the fact that his inspiration isn't anything that his manager said to him. It wasn't, Eric Ten Hag didn't hype him up and get him to go out there. Watching David Beckham on Netflix.
I mean, I get it. I watched it in the week and I felt very moved. I felt like, I know we've had some hard times with United, but I love my club. It was good in that aspect. But yeah, how funny was that? Bless it.
I thought that was great. I was like, well, I bet Eric was going, no, I subbed him on. That was me. I told him to get on and go up front out of position. That was me.
Well, to be fair, obviously it was 8 minutes left to come on. left to play when he came on. So I'm sure Erik Ten Hag was like, go with the attack mind, rather than defense, because you'd rather obviously try for goals and risk conceding one more because you're going to lose anyway. But yeah, it was fun. I'm quite critical of Scott McTominay. Like, now we've got quite a strong midfield. I never want to see him play, but he always plays well when he's like on the attack and on the front. I mean, when he plays for Scotland, but
That's
never
what he does, isn't it?
He's never that guy for United. So I had to eat my words at the weekend, but it was great. It was fun. The heart rate was like this, and then it was on the off again.
I mean, I'm curious. What you said, you've got a solid midfield now. I was actually going to say, what's happened to Casemiro? Because he's turned into like Casanova.
Yeah, solid midfield is debatable.
He's been inconsistent. That's my worry, because some games he's played this season, he's been player of the match. Like, obviously, I know it's not the be all and end all, but it is good. He's bagging goals. Like, I think he's our top scorer in the Premier League. Rasmus Højlund, Champions League. But yeah, it's inconsistency with him, and I think the difference from him last season to now is dark. But then again, like 8 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, I was looking at Mason Mount like, oh my God, I'm stressed. Like, have we made a big mistake? But he has been really good the last few games. Like, the way he links up with Rasmus Højlund, like, it's a good partnership, that. So I'm feeling confident in our midfield. Maybe not when Casemiro. But when he brought Eriksen on, I was like, oh God, he's brought Eriksen on. And again, he was better. He's not better off the ball, but...
Yeah, and that's my, because Casemiro's form sort of like gone a bit wayward. And I noticed, in order to facilitate Mount, who is playing better, you're sort of sacrificing Fernandes a little bit and pushing him out. Is that a sort of long-term thing? Because you've got nothing to come off the bench. Well, you have, obviously, you've got something to come off the bench of quality, of game-changing quality that you would think, that's the change I'm going to make.
Well, I'm not worried, because we've got, so obviously Sofyan Amrabat, he's supposed to be in midfield, and he's been playing defensively the last few games because of how thin on the ground our defence is. I mean, if you saw the lineup on Saturday, there was not one defender on the bench. So he's playing out of position. So when he actually plays in midfield, like, I think that'll be better because he's in his position. But also, I know I'm not relying on an 18-year-old like some people say. We've got Kobe Mainoo back in a week, and he is a talent. Like, I don't know if any of you saw the preseason game against Arsenal, but he pocketed Declan Rice. Like, I know it's a preseason game, but he's always been really consistent for us when he has played. So I'm not worried yet. Again, like I said to you before we went live, Josh, we've got 30 games left, and that's just in the Prem. So we'll see. I remain positive. I try to be the positive fan. Not always easy, but it's football.
I mean, and I mean, I called you. We've got Sam in the chat for this. Or they might almost be better. Amrabat and McTominay would suit each other. Kobe Mainoo needs some minutes when he's back. Graham is saying, Onana would set my blood pressure off if I was a United fan. I mean, I'll ask. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised, because if you followed Onana, he's not massively consistent, and he has some proper wayward moments. Yeah. But what you're doing, you're sort of swapping that solid goalkeeping for a good goalkeeper, but his ball playing finesse, which suits the style of what Ten Hag wants a lot better. Are you happy with that at the moment? Do you think, because in his defence, he hasn't got one that he can have a consistency with at the moment, and I think a keeper needs that with his centre backs.
Of course, and I think that partnership is always really important, especially, I mean, when you play for United. I mean, again, people might disagree with this, but being the United goalkeeper, that is a massive job. That is the amount of pressure, the amount of scrutiny you come out under. Like,
blame Schmeichel.
Yeah, I know De Gea like had his moments, but he got crucified. Like, it's part and parcel of it. And I think at the moment, like we've seen with other players, he's not had the best start. I think, like I say, he might be succumbing to the pressure a little bit, but I think give him some time. Everyone's saying that he should be benched for that buy-in day. And I don't think he should in the Premier League. I think, we should be playing our second and third keepers in the cup games. But if we bench Onana now, his confidence is just going to go. Like, of course, people are saying things as it is. So I just want to keep the faith in him. It's like I say, other players that we signed at first, and we're like, oh, but we'll give him a chance. We gave De Gea 12 years, so we can give this guy a little bit longer.
And he was pretty pap in his first season and a half, De Gea, and then he turned into, like, he's in the PFA Team of the Year a number of times. Golden Glove last year.
Exactly. So we've got like very different qualities in both keepers, and I know everyone knows the differences between those, but they are quite stark, and where De Gea had strengths, Onana's got weaknesses, so it's just adapting to it. But I think ultimately his style of play and the way that Ten Hag wants to play will kind of suit each other. Like you say, you've got him for that reason. So he'll come through. Again, positive side of me is like he'll come through.
Positive vibes. But Simon's saying Manchester United have a history of turning class players into poo emoji. For our audio listeners, it's a poo emoji. But Lucas, I mean, I'll come over to you. Brentford, I didn't realise this until literally just now. They've won one game this season and lost 3. It's a bit of an alarming side. Nothing in their last 6. They picked up 2 points in the last 6 games. Are you concerned with what they're doing at the moment?
I think everyone kind of saw it coming without Ivan Toney. And I think most football fans do realize, and I say it's about the teams that come up from relegation, like when they get promoted, is if you haven't got a proper striker, then you're gonna struggle and you're going straight back down. I do think that the transition for championship defenders is a lot easier than it is for championship strikers. The same with midfielders actually as well to the Prem. Like they can do a job, especially if you've got good work rate, your IQ is okay. But strikers, you take out Ivan Toney out of that team and they're struggling. Like they had a decent start where you saw with Wisser and Bremo, and obviously everyone had like 1 or 2 in their fantasy teams because they were good picks, but it was never going to last like up until January. And you can see they've just fallen off now. They look a bit lost for ideas. I mean, the goal was just a bit of luck as well. Like it wasn't even a well-worked goal. It was just calamity from Man United. So I wouldn't be worried about Brentford because there are 4 teams who are an absolute disgrace in the Premier League who are significantly worse than Brentford. But yeah, it's going to be a long season. And Tony's back in January. Unless they're going to sell him, they'll be fine.
So, I mean, I like you said, they lack of ideas. They brought in Neil Mopay.
Like seriously, and he almost scored. Oh, I was hoping that goal would go in.
Pinnock turned into prime Maldini.
Yeah.
I mean, that always happens when people play us, but like there was some good individual performances.
They got good players.
Yeah. Old Trafford's it's a hard place to go, especially because like Old Trafford fans are pissed off at the moment. So it's a very tough place to go. So fair enough, Pinnock was fantastic. There were a lot of good, like Aaron Hickey, he was great.
He was good.
He was, but yeah.
So as you said, I mean, a win is 3 points. I mean, and what it does give you momentum going up against Sheffield United in the next game at the end of the So it's after the international break, so you can finish on that high. You can come back in on that high, and then you go Sheffield United to Copenhagen before you hit the Man City game. Are you feeling confident to beat Sheffield United away?
They have to.
I'm more worried about the Champions League 0 points.
It's done. Don't worry about that.
No, so I'm confident for Sheffield United. I mean, we've not got all of our players going out to international duty, so I think they need a bit of time, a bit of rest. 2 weeks will do them a lot of good. But I think Saturday should have been like the massive kick up the backside we all need. And I think Erik Ten Hag did say this needs to be the turning point. I mean, ironically, before the international break last year, just for the World Cup in November, we went away to Fulham and Garnacho scored a 95th minute goal. And then after that, like it just reset our season. So hoping for the same like vibes this time around. We'll see. Like I say, I have to stay confident. Like we shouldn't, as Manchester United, we shouldn't be thinking, oh my God, we're going to Sheffield United away. Like they just got beat 8-0 at home in the backyard. So I don't think we should be worried. I mean, there's always a slight concern with our form right now, but again, I'm just going to be confident. And then the Champions League is
you have to win them, I think. I think they have to win both.
Oh yeah.
I'm not convinced by that Brentford performance. And it was like,
no,
your manager actually looked defeated. You could, when they pan to the manager, he's just sitting there on the chair, like talking to his assistant manager, and they're just like, "All right, well, where are we going to go next? Back to Ajax."
Don't get me wrong, as gutted as I would be, that maybe looking likely that we do go out, that's a lot less games to play, and that's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah, it depends how you go down. If you get dropped back down into Europa League,
true.
They're both bad. Yeah, Man United not getting out of that group with Galatasaray and Copenhagen is insane.
Do you know Copenhagen are playing quite good at the moment?
Not having it. I'm not having it.
I'm relying on
Copenhagen.
They shouldn't win.
Manchester United, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray.
That Galatasaray game, I can't even think about that ever again.
That is the Galatasaray team. That squad is the most amount of like top club rejects I've ever seen in one football team in my entire life. Torreira, Davinson Sanchez, and Dombele. There's another one that came on the other day. Mertens, isn't like he's like 40. Who else is there?
Oh no,
Icardi. I'm sure there's some more defenders as well.
Was he the one who had it's a penalty miss?
Yeah, Icardi misses the penalty.
Awful.
And then dunks on us 5 minutes later. I was like, it had to be him.
So bad.
It had to be him. But yeah, annoying.
They've got more. There's more in that team.
Anyway, so no one wants to be
Oh my god, Ziyech, that's another one.
Who? Yeah, Ziyech.
Ziyech is Angelino, the guy that played for Man City for like a year. Zaha's quality, and that's about it. Everyone else.
Zaha dunked on us as well. It had to be him as well. It was just a night of irony.
It's I mean, and the thing is, even if you win against Copenhagen, you have a point behind Galatasaray, because Galatasaray won't beat Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich going through in the group. But then the thing is, it's not really in your hands. I don't think massively.
No, it's not. I'm just at the point now where acceptance is good. It is what it is. It's fine.
Who needs it? Who needs it? Come join us in the Europa League. Come play with us. It'd be fine.
We're going to win the Europa League. I don't want to, because you'll just knock us out, and that'll be embarrassing.
Well, that's why I want you to come down, because we need someone to beat. But, in the chat that we've got Heather, hello Heather. She's not sure why she's here because she hates football, and we may touch on that. Who knows? But I mean, we're staying on the positive, happy vibes. Arsenal won, Man City 0. Lucas, how did that game make you feel?
Finally, 8 years since we last beat them in the Premier League. 8 years, and I think our aggregate score is 35-5 or something. It's pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Not good.
It's not good at all. So yeah, massive praise. I mean, if those are the two best teams in the Premier League, then the Premier League is in a serious issue, because that was one of the worst, like, top of the table battles I think I've ever seen. It was pretty bad, yeah. I mean, there was some decent performances. Like Declan Rice was outstanding. Saliba and Gabriel. I mean, I think we've got the best centre back partnership in the league. If you're going by the two, just consistent. Gabriel for me is just unreal. Saliba gets all the plaudits and praise, but I think Gabriel of the two is just so solid. But Ben White had a great game. Who else did we play? The subs that came on all played pretty well. They were all involved in the goal. Tomiyasu, Partey, and Havertz. Havertz actually finally did something, even though it was just a chest down and pass, but he did something. Gabriel Jesus had a really good game as well. I thought he was really good. Trossard was shocking. He needed to be taken off. Eddie Nketiah, I think we need to just call it a day on this. Like what are we actually doing? What are we actually doing with Eddie Nketiah as our starting striker? Like, what? It's a joke. Get rid in January. Get Ivan Toney. Give him a swap if they want. Just they can have Nketiah. And Martinelli's back as well. Finally. So yeah, I think we were good. It was a very even game. It was such a stalemate. Both teams looked like they didn't want to lose, as opposed to anyone trying to win. I think when we brought the subs on, there was a bit more of intent from Arsenal to like steal it in the last few minutes, like especially Martinelli, he was direct and he was taking shots, so it worked out in the end. Man City looked pretty poor, but again, I'm not going to look into it too much. But I will say we need to put some respect on Rodri's name, and he should be taking home the Ballon d'Or over Messi, and that other guy should not even be in the conversation. I know he broke the Premier League record, but seriously, like seriously. Erling Haaland he's a throwback striker. He really is.
Was he yesterday? Zero touches. Shocking.
He's having a couple of days off.
Football on a consistent basis. He actually can't. But goal scoring wise, I mean, he's if not the best in the world.
The thing I said this last season. They don't play the football to suit Haaland. They do this. They're like side to side to side to side. That's not. He is fast.
He is KDB.
I'm not.
He's fast and strong, and he can shoot.
I'm not
So
being
what-
a hater, honestly. I'm not. But I watched that game yesterday because I was like, this would be a great game, as a neutral. It like not really from Arsenal because I don't think they do in general, but City just played boring football. I never watched it. If there's 6 games on at 3:00 and United isn't one of them, City will be the last one I watch, especially if they're at the Etihad because they're just predictable, boring. Yeah. Like, of course they get the job done, which is great, but cracks start to show. Like you say, a few players go miss. Like,
but they do this every season. They did this at the beginning. Like it's just happened a bit later. Like they did this against United when Rashford got that goal that should have been called offside. But they have these games where they just don't look like they want to win, and it happens, which is why you can't look into this. Like, it's great for us, and I think what we need to see from Arsenal to really make it count is we've got Chelsea and Seville away next 2 games. We have to go and win both those games for me. Otherwise, 3 points against City. And we're almost back to square one again if we don't kick on after that, especially if we drop points against Chelsea. Like, I know they're on 3 wins, their first 3 wins in a row in 2023, but that's going to be a tough game. But we have to go and win. We have to beat City and then go on and continue to be in this title race. But I think the mental battle has been broken. But I'm not. Yeah, City for me is still going to be the favourites. And as soon as Rodri comes back, it's back to normal.
I mean, he is quite. I mean, Sam saying in the chat, Pep said we don't understand. They are like chess, which also isn't on Sky Sports for a reason. But the thing is, I mean, I've been anybody that follows me on anything. I've been saying for a long time. I don't rate Pep tactically. I personally don't think he's a very good manager tactically. Greatest coach, what a coach. But tactically, he's got no options. He doesn't know what to do to change. He can't change a game, and it proves out when you watch him in the Champions League. The reason every Champions League game that they underperform is when he tries to do something. Whenever he tries, the Champions League final, he tried to do something, nearly blew the game. They won the game because they had much better players, and they should never have been in a situation where they were struggling against that Inter Milan team. Every time he tries to do something, he's got no options. I've said this a lot. My favorite game of football ever is Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan versus Pep's Barcelona in the second leg of the Champions League quarter semi-final, when Jose just had him. Pep didn't know what to do. He knew how Pep was going to play, and he was going to try and ticky-tacker his way through. So he's just pushed the ball out, defended deep, wouldn't let him into the box, and he had no options. And instead of bringing on Ibrahimovic or Henry to have a big, tall striker in the middle and cross balls in, he brought on Bojan and lost the game. Any manager that brings on Bojan as your answer, you've got it. And bear in mind, they lost last week to Wolves as well.
Yeah.
And their next league game, they've lost to Wolves. They've lost to Arsenal. Their next game is against their next game's against Brighton.
At home or away?
At home.
Yeah, they're going to destroy them. Brian are not serious. Like, let's put that. Brian are not a serious team. They're not.
International break now, though. There's the international break, so Brighton will be fresher. I wouldn't be surprised because they play with pace and they're quite direct. I wouldn't be surprised in the same way that Wolves outdone them that you see Brighton outdo City.
Yeah, but Brighton aren't disciplined defensively like a Wolves can be. Like, Brighton, it's not their game. They're playing for like their vibes team, Brighton, and they're going to look at Liverpool. Liverpool should have absolutely. You should have scored a few more. And to be fair, they should have scored a few more against you. If they were finishing, you would have lost about 5-4. But no, City are going to come out that they're going to destroy them. That's going to be a huge scoring game.
Rodri's back. So
Rodri's back. Grealish is back now.
Rodri's back with nearly a month of rest. So
that's the other thing. They needed to rest him eventually. So he's going to be
typical. Then after that is the United game. Like,
I mean, that's what Dux is saying. Johnny Evans is prepping Erling Haaland in his pocket.
Little uncomfortable conversations. If Erling Haaland doesn't have a game against Evans and Maguire as a back two centre back, if he pulls a performance like that.
I manifested
against those two.
That is not going to be our back line at the Manchester Derby.
But you know what?
They had a good game, though. I'll give it to them. They both were, especially Maguire. Maguire had a good game.
If you watched Wolves and the way Craig Dawson is an old school defender, a bit like Johnny Evans and more up there than on the... He couldn't know how to do him because the thing that Haaland's dangerous at balls over the top. fastballs, quick break, and Johnny Evans and Maguire have no legs. So if they played that, he'd be in trouble. But they don't. So Man City are gonna play a football type of football that could suit that.
I think Pep should give him a rest. I think he played a lot of football last season. He scored a hell of a lot.
They've got Alvarez.
Alvarez. Like, who is the better footballer?
Yeah, you shocked Haaland. Then you nearly killed us.
Drop Haaland for the next 2 games. Bring him back for the Manchester derby. That's what you want to do.
No, don't do that.
But look, just play Alvarez, and like that Núñez kid is unreal on the ball as well. Like, he came on and he was like, I think there's one moment he was just standing in front of Declan Rice, and then within 2 touches just took it past him and ran all the way through our midfield. So you can play Alvarez, and then you can put Foden, Núñez, Doku, and Bernardo Silva behind, and you are going to absolutely destroy Brighton. Yes, because Alvarez is
good.
The next Aguero, like he is. In fact, I'd say he's even a bit more in terms of overall ability. He offers a bit more than Aguero, because again, Aguero didn't remember when Pep first came in. He didn't like Aguero. And he dropped Aguero for a good chunk for Jesus, because Aguero would refuse to run around.
He don't know ball. That's why.
But Alvarez is the next Aguero. Haaland is just an elite goal scorer. But I think he needs a break. I think he does need a break. I think he's looking a bit shaky at the moment. And he's missed the most big chances. He's still top goal scorer in the league, which just says again to his goal scoring ability. But I think Pep could do with just giving him a little bit of rest or bring him off from the bench. But yeah, I mean, they're still favourites for me. They're a joke. Their team's a joke, and KDB coming back in January is just the icing on the cake before their 2-month run where they win every game.
It makes you sad. And then Heather saying Jack Grealish on.
Grealish not fit. Bernardo Silva was one of their better players. He's barely fit. He just came out from injury. Rodri. So if we were going to beat Man City, this is the best chance we've had in years to beat them. So we had to win that game. We had to.
I mean, and here's one for you. Kovacic was a lunatic, and I've got to be honest.
That should have been a red.
I had my hair off, and I have been having a bit of back and forth Discord with certain referee channels on Twitter, because my big annoyance is send Curtis Jones off for that. I can accept that. I'm not happy, but I can accept it. When someone then does something worse twice the following week,
madness.
Because that's where, I mean, I get this subjectiveness, and some challenges, depends on the moment and the game, and that's fine. Serious foul play for me shouldn't be subjective. Potentially hurting in somebody through reckless challenge. That's not subjective, is it?
They've done it all season though. Like Eddie Nketiah should have been sent off against Spurs for that challenge against on the goalkeeper, and they missed him. Like, that was one of the wildest challenges I've seen in a long time, and he just missed him. Kovacic should have been sent off for the first one. I get the second one; he's lunged in, but I think what's happened is it wasn't they went under pressure. It was a defensive phase of play, like we were just passing around the back, and he's lunging. So I think I can forgive that one. The first one's a straight red, and the fact that they looked at it and went no yellow, it's like. What's the rule? I thought there was a general consensus that if you dive in with your studs off the ground, and you make contact, it's a red card. Or has that changed now again? That's probably changed, and nobody communicated it.
Casemiro, and that's a red.
Casemiro or Xhaka, that's an instant red. Yeah.
Curtis Jones was a red.
And the other thing that it's quite funny, but I also think it's like annoying and gross. But did you see the argument that like Kyle Walker all had with the Arsenal coaches after the game?
Coach, yeah,
like what are you doing? Whatever the situation was, like it just makes you like you're throwing your toys out the pram. Whether you are or aren't, sore losers. Like they are all sore losers. Like it's just.
They need a humbling seat. Like someone has to win this league apart from them. It's a joke now.
And that's what
we want someone else to win.
Yeah.
And I just can't handle though that things like that, because if that is Klopp and Liverpool doing it, he's getting fined. He's getting sent to the stands. If it's Virgil van Dijk saying something, he's getting fined out of his pocket. And that's what the confusing thing is that those double standards. And Simon saying Curtis deserves it. I'm not debating if he deserved his red, but what I'm saying is it needs to be consistent. If he did, so did Kovacic.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
And that's fine. It is it's bizarre, and I don't think the sad thing, it doesn't do refereeing standards any favors.
No.
When you have
like you all literally work together and have all these meetings and stuff, and it's like I don't understand. Just be consistent. And the fact that you got VAR, it's just it's annoying. It just honestly just ruins. It's ruining the game at the moment in the Premier League.
Be subjective about shirt pulling, little kicks. Be subjective about that. You know, the push in the box and that jazz. If it's hurting somebody, if you're going over, you've got to have hard and fast rules. You know, we know what's illegal in society, so we know what we can't do. We know what's not acceptable and what's not right. Some people might like it, some people might not, you know. And then we also know what isn't acceptable, you know. And that's if we can live our lives like that, we should be able to play football like that. And Graham saying cough cough FFP, cough 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 cough.
Go on, Graham.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. It's rules are irrelevant to Manchester City. And Heather said Saka the Peacemaker was so adorable.
It's like, why are you arguing? Like, what is the situation where you've only lost 1-0, you've not been battered? Like, relax, you can't win them all.
I know, but it's yes. I'm not going to embellish into it. So Man City, well done for a second loss. Well done, Arsenal.
But I will say one thing. No, I won't actually. I was going to say that. Do we need to give Spurs? Do we need to put Spurs in this conversation now?
I think so.
Based on the fact that
what conversation?
City are gonna do their thing, but I think they're susceptible to dropping more points than they did last season. This season, just off the back. Well, KDB out to January, and then Haaland not firing on all cylinders, and then Spurs are getting it done. Like they're playing good football and they're winning games. But I mean, they wrote off the Emirates and they should have beaten us.
I mean, a controversial this might be. I don't think that they're. I
don't think they'll win it, but I reckon they can hang on for most of the season.
I mean, I think in my prediction, I predicted them sort of top 10 actually, and I still stand by top 10.
Top 10.
I predicted 11.
I think they're going to lose to Liverpool definitely when they come play. So they would have lost had it been 11 against 11. I think they struggled to beat Luton. I'm sorry. It's Luton. They struggled to beat us, and we had 9 men, and they had a goal.
Yeah, but they still got it done. That's what I'm saying. They're even when they're struggling, they're still winning games.
That's the only thing that they're grinding. But I think
they're grinding and they're playing good football at the same time. It's not like that's what gets you up there. You have to just grind out results.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to catch up with the chat in a minute. So Nick said that we heard about those type of challenges that we were talking about earlier. Is where the boot lands on the boot, it can be a caution, but if it touches the sock, it's a red. I don't know. I don't know enough about that. Graham saying Spurs top of the league for 2 weeks. They were in the same position, I believe, this time last season. Incidentally. This time last season
was that the Santos? They did it with Santos, but they were crap then. Like they weren't good. It was one of those. You can always tell when you look at a team just how they're playing that it's going to fall apart at some point, and that was them under Santos and Mourinho. I think when they were top after like 5 games. But I mean, the fact about it is like I haven't seen them come to the Emirates and do that, and without Harry Kane, I was like, shit, like this team.
I'd love them to win.
This team is good. Yeah,
United aren't going to win it. Let's be honest. But
no.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say the only way I'd accept Spurs winning the league is if Man United get relegated. That's the only sacrifice. It's only fair. What have you done?
What did we do? We're just sitting mid-table.
I don't think United fans understand what it was like going to school after that 8-2.
So you're just bitter.
That was one of the worst mornings in my entire life, going to school after that 8-2. And there were lots more as well. There were lots more all throughout school, all throughout uni. There were lots more. So United need to be punished. You or Chelsea need to go down, and then I'll accept a Spurs win.
I think Liverpool, Spurs, and Arsenal will, if City win it or not, but they will take City, I think, right until the end. I think it will be really, really close. You know, it was just really City and Arsenal last season. I think they'll be more contenders this year. And I think the table will be like...
No Europe. You have to consider that with some of these. Like, I don't consider the Europa League group stage European games. Like, you're rotating 8 out of your 11 players for that. So, like I said, that Liverpool would do. So you're giving Mo Salah a proper rest now. You're giving the midfielders a proper rest. So these guys are going to be able to go for the whole season in the Prem. Spurs are playing 1 game a week and they're out of the Carabao Cup already. They're not going to do anything in the FA Cup. So, what's to stop them?
I'm just... I'm interested. I don't think their bench
it's just
is
Spurs. That's the thing. That's the only thing that's stopping them.
I don't think their bench is good enough. If you've looked at the games that they've played so far, they haven't really blown anyone away of any note. I haven't seen anything from them other than they're continuing to play football. I'll be after they've played Chelsea and they've played Man City and Newcastle and then Brighton, which comes Boxing Day.
Oh no, Newcastle.
That's a good game for Boxing Day.
A good one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once they've hit that, that's when I could be persuaded to change. But I've got a feeling by then there'll be about 6.
There's some pretty like big games around Christmas this year that could decide a lot of stuff in January because we got Liverpool on 23rd.
We go to Liverpool on the 16th.
Yeah, it's a joke. Christmas is just Anfield on the 23rd, right before Christmas. Like seriously,
during Christmas.
and Sam, you don't know what it was like. You don't know what it's like.
Sam's got his violins out
off the Fergie time.
I mean, I'm catching up on the chat, and Sam saying he feels a little bit like Spurs, like he did with Arsenal. He was impressed, but he needs to see more for title challenge. Maddison and Son go down, then they struggle, which I agree. Every time they play,
maybe not Son, I think they'll be all right.
Well, they play with Charlison in through the middle instead of Son at the moment. Keep doing that every week. Play with Charlison every single week.
Did you see that?
He does help it like create mayhem. He does like one moment throughout the game, and then they'll get a goal of it. But outside that, he's not a threat.
No, he's I love him in there. Graham's saying we'll beat them in the replay. Don't you worry, it'll be embarrassing. Sam saying, although I love Ange, I'd rather they won it out of the options. And Heather agrees. And Graham saying, inevitably, if Spurs being Spurs, he will stop them.
Why does Heather want Spurs to win instead of us?
I think
probably all the Bournemouth
I think it's just the hiding you gave them last week. but I mean, being fair, being nice. We'll. I mean, incidentally though, Luton Town solid effort in that game against. I think if their football wasn't bad, and if they could finish, they would have won that game. So it's interesting.
Luton are like 20 points is a good season for them.
They're like the little engine that not could, but you wish they could. Because they play nice stuff and they're really trying hard, but they just can't do it.
They got a serious bag of money coming up into the Premier League, and they did absolutely nothing with it.
They made Kenilworth Road Premier League worthy. That is what they did.
10 million.
They should have done that years ago. To be fair.
But what they have got, I mean, they've got Forest away next, which I mean they can't win at home, so maybe they'll do something away. The next 3 games in though are Aston Villa away, Liverpool at home, Man United away. That's nasty.
Oh, it might be United. It's at Old Trafford as well.
Wow.
Oh, it's so funny. That is the only game. Don't ruin my time, Lucas, because that is the only game on the horizon that I think we're winning that. All the others, I'm like, oh, not sure. Don't say this.
I mean, in the chat next saying Andrew arrived without any baggage and has started to lift the negativity at the club. You just let them play football. It's amazing what you let attacking players attack, isn't it?
They're playing like we should be. It's like it's very reminiscent of Poch's early days when he got them clicking, but I think Poch definitely had a better squad. And obviously you got Kane, but yeah, I agree. The squad is Maddison goes down, and you're like, there's no direct replacement for Maddison. Son, he can move around. You know, Solomon, Richard, he can kind of Kulusevski, but Maddison goes down. I think they're in trouble.
And Heather's saying she prefers Spurs for Arsenal because she loves Big Ange, and you left my Rambo out in the cold. It's
right.
I'm sale.
Yeah, I mean, tell the Sky Sports to keep panning the camera to him every game when Ryan makes a mistake.
Looking sad. And Graham said, I think Luton's plan is to get the money, inevitably go down, but use a parachute payments to come back up. And that's fine.
Broken system.
Very, very prudent management. But we've spent the last couple of weeks laughing at them, with the season so far laughing at them. But this week, it looks like Chelsea have found their level, beating Championship recently promoted team Burnley 4-1. Well done, Chelsea. The teams they've thrashed so far are Luton and Burnley, I believe. That is your standard. If you get relegated, you're going to be heroes. You're going to dominate that league, and you're going to get to win every single week. I mean, Lucas, you obviously love a bit of Chelsea. Who doesn't love a bit of Chelsea? How did that game make you feel? Are Chelsea back, or are they just really good at beating championship sides?
The first question, just see what they do against us at the Bridge. If they beat us, then I think we can say, yeah, they're back. Or if they beat us at the Bridge.
I'm laughing at you if they beat
They won't beat you. They will not beat you.
They cannot. I'll be fuming if we go up to there and just play poorly and lose to Chelsea. But it's a local rivalry, so there's always going to be some spanner in the works in that game. But I think you got to give them credit. I think the Fulham game that's a tough game for them. Fulham again, local derby, and they went away from home, and they won 3 in a row now. Brighton, Fulham, and Burnley. They should be winning those games. I mean, Fulham's always tricky, but they should be winning those. They tore Burnley apart in that second half. But I don't know. I think Sterling. They need to get Sterling playing more consistently.
I was gonna say he had a game, didn't he?
Yeah, he's had 3 of those this season. Like the Luton game. What was the team they played before Luton? I think West Ham. They drew, or did they lose that game in the end?
They lost.
I think they lost, but Sterling was outstanding in that game, and then everyone that was the one because I remember I was like, shit, I should get Sterling in for my FPL against Luton, and I didn't. I got Rashford in instead, and then he had a great game. So he's done a few of those. If he can get Sterling consistently performing like that, needs to get this Jackson scoring as well consistently, or Broya, or one of them. And then again, defensively, they're not bad. Like Chelsea's defense is actually that's not their issue. They can defend. It's the midfield and attack, and that they're not creating enough chances, and they haven't got a consistent goal scorer in that team. But I think Chukwuemeka being back as their number 10, that's their only real natural number 10 they've got, because they've been doing with like Enzo or Gallagher 1 week or whatever it is. Outside of that, I think if they can hang on and get Nkunku back in January, they can give. Look, it's 5 spots for Champions League, and it's there. But we'll see what they do against us, and then we can say if Chelsea are back or not. If we go and spank them at the Bridge, then it's back to normal. We're all laughing at Todd Bowley again.
Well, I mean the things of the last couple of seasons as well. If you lose more than 5, top 4 is typically pretty much out of reach, and they've lost 3 so far. So they've. It has been the last couple of seasons. Nobody's sort of lost more than 5 and finished in the top 4. So it's tight. They can't afford any more slip ups. But I've loved watching Raheem Sterling being like the elder statesman, because I don't think he's aged since he left Liverpool. He looks like the same age.
Still only 28? He's literally just entered his prime. I feel like he's been around for ages.
It's mad, and he's. I want him to do. I don't want him to do well because he's at Chelsea, but I sort of want him to do well, because I do think it wasn't very well handled his last season at Man City, and for reasons I won't discuss. But I just don't think he was handled very well by Pep, and so I sort of want him to do well.
He shouldn't have gone to Chelsea though. That was a bad move.
Yeah.
But I do like Sterling. I've always kind of liked him. I don't think he's an amazing footballer, but I think when used correctly, he can be very dangerous. Yeah, very effective.
And I mean, Hannah, are Burnley ever going to figure out that you can't play open, expressive football against teams that are infinitely better than you?
No. Company's just like, well, I know everyone says it, but the leap from the Championship to Premier League, I think a lot of managers come in and it's so clearly, no matter how much you anticipate it, they all do underestimate it. And, you get put against the big boys, and it's a different, the way they play football is different. Championship style football, it's great, it's entertaining, but then you've got Premier League football, it's completely different. So I think they'll go down again. I mean, I don't think they've had a win yet. I don't know.
Won. I think they won one. I can't remember who it was against, but I'm going to look it up now. I'm sure there was one against somebody that they beat Luton. They beat Luton.
There you go. Okay. So, I mean, their only win being Luton, it's not great. It's really not great. And I think, kind of like Lucas said before, there's quite a few fairly rubbish teams. So obviously these points, any that they can pick up, whether they're getting draws or anything like that, is going to be great. But they will, I think, stay at the bottom. Or what do you guys think about Burnley? I mean, do you think they'll stay up?
Well, Simon Todd saying there, Vincent Company's Burnley, not just Burnley, so
yeah.
Mega Minds Burnley.
I think they'll stay up. I think they know how to score goals. I think they'll Company's just got it's not mission impossible what he needs to do in that team. Like just literally have a more consistent defensive cover in your team. And stop the fullbacks just running around like headless chickens. Like,
I mean, play the teams that are in front of you. If there's somebody that is infinitely better than you got to play more conservative. You don't just think balls to it. Let's just do it, boys.
Because there's goals in that team. That striker they've got, he's got 3 now. I think 3 or 4. Is it Lowell? I can't remember his name.
I have no idea.
So I think they've got enough. I think they're better than Sheffield, Luton, Everton, and Bournemouth.
They're better than Everton. Everton are looking a little bit better.
Everton are awful. They just do this all the time, and I can't stand it. Every single time.
Do you know what? I will say. I mean, it was the game I was going to come on to next because Heather's here.
Taylor, that's it.
And, it was Everton 3, Bournemouth 0. I mean, the way that made me feel was. Stop telling your goalkeeper to play out from the back when you can't play out from the back. What is going on all game?
Your tactic. He's literally influenced the whole league to make it that teams think they have to do this now to compete. And you really don't. Like you can go over the top.
I don't get it. It's driving me absolutely bananas watching it. I watched some extended highlights because I was expecting Everton to lose. I thought this would be nice. Bournemouth will win a game. But every time I was watching, I think just stop it. Just kick the ball out. What are you doing? And he's holding it on. And you can see him thinking, oh no, where's this going to go? And it was just, I mean, it did lead to, Harrison's goal. Can we all just admire that for a moment?
That was good.
Oh, that was beautiful to see him come back and actually score that. But they did. I mean, Hannah, you were saying they looked like they were doing bits.
Yeah, I mean, they've just had a few. Maybe it's harsh to say freak, but they've had some really good one-off games this season. Like they've obviously had some. They started off really rubbish, like they always do, but. I mean, I think on the attack they look much better, and the difference is now compared to like last season, they're scoring more goals. And like them winning 3-0, say last season was unheard of. When they were winning, they were literally winning like 1-0. They were scraping by, but their new striker Beto, he's not been as on the score sheet as I thought he would be because he scored, I think, a few in his first few games.
Put some pressure on Calvert-Lewin, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, Calvert-Lewin's coming out the blocks again. But another thing with Everton, which is what we said about Spurs, a few injuries to these players who are so injury prone. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, like he's so injury prone. A few more injuries and they're back to where they were last season. So they look good for now. But again, I think they're going to be one of those perhaps inconsistent teams this season.
I mean, Heather's saying they only look good because Bournemouth got the try.
That's what I think. I think that was a self-inflicted defeat from Bournemouth there. That was just Everton just took advantage of it.
Rubbish.
Yeah. Calvert-Lewin, I agree. If Calvert-Lewin stays fit the whole season, then Everton finish. They probably end up finishing 12th or something stupid. But if he goes down, then it's the same thing again.
Yeah.
I thought I like Jack Harrison. I like him as a player. I think he's quite a good, like James Gardner, middle of the road midfielder. He's making a good living by being quite solid and consistent. He's not fabulous, but he does all right, and I want to will him to do well. But I think Graham's saying the Merseyside derby's next. I don't. So I don't want him to do well then.
Captain Salah incoming.
But that's at Anfield after the international break. Those poor sods. I'd like to think we're going to come back and absolutely trash them. It's going to be.
You should absolutely decimate them.
It should be horrible. I mean, Graham saying, there he was. Bournemouth should have never sacked Gary O'Neill. I mean, Lucas, they wanted to change the style and try to do something a bit different. Was that a good idea, or do you think that was a bit of an erroneous decision there?
No, I don't see any issue with that. But you got to buy players, and that's it. Who have Bournemouth signed this summer? Let's just bring up the names of the players they brought in. They brought the manager from La Liga. let's see what players they brought in for someone you've brought from La Liga.
I
Technically,
always forget the name of their manager. Who is it?
Idoni
He's
Viola or
managing-
Iola, is it?
Oh yeah, him.
Cafe or Mallorca or something. And he's actually done all right in La Liga with the
Okay.
team
I mean,
that he's
they
had.
brought in Tyler Adams from Leeds.
Great. That's such a La Liga player there.
Junior Traore from Sassuolo.
Don't know too much about him, to be fair. So.
Justin Kluivert.
Oh, for God's sake. See what I mean? It's like, it's this kind of thing. It's like, what? What are you expecting this manager to do with these guys in the Premier? Justin Kluivert in the Premier League. I mean, I could have told you that would have been a terrible idea before they signed him. Adams is all right, but no.
Max Evans, I quite like as a right back. I quite like Max Evans.
Overhyped, but he's decent.
Yeah, he's. I'd expect him Bournemouth level.
Linked with Bayern Munich.
He had a good season, then he had one good season at Norwich. And people were like, he's amazing. Lewis says
they sold
Sinisteva.
Lamina. Like they got rid of one of their best players and then didn't replace him. It's like, yeah, I don't think it's on the manager. It's just Bournemouth is not well. I don't know what they're trying to do here.
Yeah,
it's Dominic Solanke again up front. Like seriously,
what I tell you what, Liverpool do some transfer business, don't they?
Yeah, Bournemouth should never do business with you ever again after those deals. What was the other one? Who was the winger?
Jordan Ibe.
Jordan Ibe. Oh, was it 25 million or something for Jordan Ibe?
And
30 for Dominic Solanke.
What business? What business? It's just absolutely superb.
They did sign Alex Scott, but he's been injured.
But it's worrying. Bournemouth one. There's not a lot of time to sort of rectify it when you're starting so poorly. No, one of only two clubs with no wins, and it's a minus 13 goal difference. 8 goals in, 8 games in, even. Not that's
gonna be
not
tight
ideal.
this season. Both ends. It's gonna be really tight.
It is, and I just think I'm happy. We're not going to talk about Crystal Palace because that was pretty diabolical.
No,
I mean, we'll bring up some of the games of the week in which we haven't covered and spoken about. So obviously it was Brighton and Liverpool 2-2. I would like to talk about that, but it's just time. It's just too much time, unfortunately. Well, that time has passed. West Ham, Newcastle 2-2. West Ham. I've been happy. I've been relatively impressed and happy with. I just looking in the comments. Heather is. I can't read these out for our audio listeners. For audio listeners, we are live on YouTube and Twitch, and you can feel free to join us. You can be part of the chat. You can see some of the X-rated comments that we've got. And I think Nick's saying Bournemouth's business was praised in the summer by link clicked. This is true. And Graves said you should never talk about Crystal Palace apart from defensively. Aren't they lovely? But another game was Wolves and Aston Villa 1-1, a local derby, so I'm not reading too much into that one. Other games that we didn't cover was Fulham 3, Sheffield United 1. A good win by Fulham. Solid season for Fulham so far as well. I mean, Lucas, they're not doing too bad again, are they?
They're doing all right for them. They'll be fine. They know how to get it done. We should actually talk about West Ham Newcastle briefly. So are we remember West Ham when did they finish under Moyes? Was it 5th or 6th?
Well, last season, I want to say, where were they? The season before, you think?
That's when they brought in what's his name from United.
They finished 7th 2 years ago.
So has Moyes got it back to that level of form again with West Ham? Because they're, even with the Europa League football.
Oh, they're 7th now.
They're picking up points and they're playing some good football. Like, I think with 100 million, they've done some of the best business of any team in the Premier League in the summer, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're just solid, aren't they? I'm quietly impressed.
They're tough to beat. They're scoring goals as well. They got a tune out of Antonio in certain games.
Yeah,
but
if he doesn't talk
Alvarez
beforehand,
midfield they brought in is quality.
It's solid. Smart transfer work that they did.
Jared Bowen, look, if Mo Salah leaves, I think honestly, if you're looking through the Premier League, That is the best possible option of any Premier League team that you could get to replace Mo Salah in the Premier League. That is, in my opinion, if you're not going to get Saka, that is, which I don't think you'll spend the money. Outside of that, if you want a right winger who's left-footed, or he's pretty much both-footed, and scores goals on a consistent basis and assists, name me one other player in the Premier League outside of Jared Bowen.
No, did you say outside of the Premier League?
No, in the Prem. There'll be options outside, of course, but in the Prem, Bowen is a joke, and he's done this for 4 years now. Like, I don't know why there's no question marks over Jared Bowen's ability, because he's done this for literally 4 seasons on a row. I
was going to give you the joke answer and say Rashford, but that's
for Rashford on the right, yeah, okay.
Just Rashford on the wing. That's my joke.
He's not one to be dropped for a few games. Bring him back for the derby.
Yeah, he needs to chill. Take his earrings out and just chill out a little bit.
Lucas, do you want City to win the derby? It sounds like you do. To be fair, the best result is like a draw.
We all want Man City. We all want Man City down. but the league table as it stands, Tottenham are top, joint top with Arsenal on 20 points, both with a goal difference of 10 as well. Which is so why is Tottenham above?
I think he goes goal difference, then goals for. Then is it goal difference or head to head?
And then it's rocks, paper, scissors. And then in third is Man City on 18th, Liverpool 4th on 17th, Aston Villa and Brighton both on 16th and 5th and 6th respectively. And then West Ham on 7th are 14 points, so 6 points between 7th and 1st at the moment. And then down at the bottom, Sheffield United, not wonderful down there with no wins, 1 point. Bournemouth with 3 points, Burnley with 4 points, Luton Town with 4 points, and Everton and Brentford both with 7, and Wolves with it. That is tight. From 13th down to 20. Oh my days. And Sam is celebrating United being in the top half.
I mean, but look at that. They're only 5 points behind Man City. You got Sheffield next, which you should win. If you beat Sheffield, you could go straight up to 7th. And then again, you're 1 win away from getting in the top 3.
And then if you beat Man City,
you like Lucas, you're not positive attitude, I was saying.
It's actually mad. Like a few wins on the bounce here, and anyone around 9th, 10th just goes shoot straight up.
And if Brighton do Man City, and then you do them in the derby, then it's all open. It's all to be played for. But that's the Premier League. That moves us on to the La Liga. And Sam has very kindly sent us over his update for that. Welcome to Spain, where the weather is lovely, the football is sweet. Sit yourselves down. You're in for a treat. Big news out of Sevilla is a sacking of, who's this name? Jose Luis Mendilibar. Just 6 months after winning the Europa League, he's removed, having failed to beat Rayo Vallecano 2-2 at home, despite a last-minute equaliser for En-Nesyri. It left them 14th, searching for a new manager. Frank Lampard is reportedly not being considered, nor is Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Mr. Blobby, or the Sugar Babes. Frank Lampard, incidentally, being considered for the Rangers job. What is that? And when they return from the international break, they face Real Madrid, then Arsenal in the Champions League. So, Lucas, be prepared for that new manager bounce. In the football, Real Madrid remain top thanks to a double from Bellingham. Oh, my God, Jude Bellingham. Now with 10 goals in 10 matches. Oh, my God. Vinicius Jr. and Joselu giving them a 4-0 win over Osasuna to go 2 points clear of La Liga heading to the break. They are clear of, yes, the one and only, not my Girona or your Girona, but it's our Girona, as they overcame 10-man Cadiz away from home, making it 7 wins out of 9. Put them in second place, Girona in second place. While Barcelona had to get off their Barca lounges, going 2-0 down, including conceding after ludicrous 17 seconds. 2 goals from Zaragoza. No, not the well-known team Zaragoza, but Granada's striker Brian. A double from Brian Zaragoza was pegged back by Lamine Yamal, the young superstar, becoming the youngest Liga goal scorer at just 16 years and 87 days, with Sergio Roberto rescuing a point for Xavi. I forgot Sergio Roberto was still at Barcelona, or playing football for that matter. Atletico Bilbao got back to winning ways against rock bottom Almeria with a 3-0 win. Mallorca and Valencia shared a draw, as did Celta Vigo and Getafe, as well as Alvarez and Real Betis. Atletico Madrid rose to 4th spot with a 2-1 victory over top 4 rivals Real Sociedad, with a late Antoine Griezmann penalty doing the business. And finally, Villarreal slide towards danger with a 2-1 home loss to Las Palmas, including a goal from the fabulously named Coco Biase Ubuina. And that's it for La Liga. So Sam will leave us with some Spanish knowledge. There is no tooth fairy in Spain, but rather a tooth mouse called Rata Canito Perez. Maybe he's in line for the Sevilla job. Adios. And thank you for that, Sam. And Girona in second place. Oh, my opal fruit days. And over to Serie A. Lucas, have you been watching Serie A?
I have. I think everyone knows the headline from Serie A this weekend because it was all over the internet. But it was a masterclass from Olivier Giroud in goal for Serie A for AC Milan after 2 red cards in the I think it was 98 and 90. I feel like it was the 13 minutes after. Yeah, 98 and 103 minutes, 2 red cards, and Olivier Giroud had to go in goal because Milan didn't have a goalkeeper on the bench. So it does still happen. But that takes them top of the table into dropping points against Bologna, even though they've had a really good start to the season. But Lautaro Martinez scoring again. I think that's his 12th goal this season, I want to say. But he's on fire at the moment for Inter Milan. Juventus picking up a 2-0 win again against Torino. They continue their fine form. Obviously, the headline with them is the Pogba situation, which I think is almost resolved.
I forgot
he's been charged, I think. Yeah, he's been charged. So if
allegedly, I did hear as well, while he is under suspension for the charge that he is, they've cut his payback. So his take home is only about $2,000 a month, allegedly, at the moment.
Yeah, violation of contract. So I think he has to appeal it, or he's got a certain time to appeal it. And then if not, it could be between 2 and 4 years from global football because it's doping. So he can't even go to the MLS, or he might be able to go to Saudi Arabia. To be fair,
why did he need to dope? He's not playing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. He's got to surely just say it was the doctor gave him something because this is just stupid. But yeah, Juve doing pretty well this season. Fiorentina out of nowhere, top 4 as well. They've been mid-table for years now. But they're doing really well. Being Napoli, who I told you last time, they are struggling with the loss of their manager, Spalletti, who went to Italy. I believe he's the Italian manager now. But yeah, they don't look the same side. So I don't think Napoli are going to win it this year, to be honest. Obviously, there's issues going on in that club and the way they're treating Victor Osimhen. If anyone's seen the TikTok thing they posted,
it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It's just like, I want to say it doesn't make sense, but then I'm also like, it's Serie A.
Italy.
It's literally Serie
Italian
A.
football.
It's just what they do. But Osimhen should just leave. Like, why are you playing there? Go leave. You could play for any top club in the world after last season. So just hand in your transfer request. Refuse to play wherever it is. But he won't. Atlanta picking up points as well, so getting back up there. Roma as well picking up points after a terrible start to the season, but last 2 games they've won now, and a 4-1 win against Cagliari. They seem to be clicking, and I forgot Uar went there as well from Lyon, but he's getting in amongst the goals and assists. Lukaku. Yeah, Mourinho's getting a tune out of Lukaku. They keep Dybala fit. He's a quality footballer, Dybala.
I did see the starting 11 was quite good. I can't remember. Is it Belotti up front?
Oh, he is amazing on Football Manager, but he didn't score a goal all of last season. I think it was playing striker for Roma.
Yeah, but I can't remember what game it was.
He a bit, yeah. But like Paredes is a decent midfielder. Defensively, they're a little bit shaky with that back 3, to be honest. But Cristante's done all right for them, and then Lukaku, Dybala up front is deadly at the moment. So they complement each other very well. Dybala and Lukaku. So they got a similar thing with Martinez, although Dybala doesn't press as much as Martinez does, but it works.
It was Europa League. I saw Belotti scored 2 in the Europa League, and I thought, he's quite nice.
He should be, because when they signed him, he was a goal machine. But yeah, a lot of these teams got some good players. I think Juve's lineup is pretty weak, but they're doing all right. I mean, Moise Kean is starting striker for them. Rabiot, Locatelli, McKennie behind, Timothy Weah on the right, Danilo, Bremer, and Gatti as their centre backs. Like, their team this is one of the weakest Juve sides in a while. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled on Serie A, because I'm a big advocate for the competitiveness of the league, not the league itself for obvious reasons, but yeah, competitiveness of the league, it is very entertaining, and you do get some insane things in Serie A, like Olivier Giroud going in goal for the last 5 minutes of the game.
Most handsome keeper.
If you can ever spare a moment on the weekend, do turn on Serie A, because you're likely to see something crazy.
And that takes us to the SPFL, which Charlotte did very kindly give us a write-up, which I shall just find. And again, I did mention earlier, Frank Lampard linked with the Rangers job. Just awesome. Celtic fans, that's what you want. You want...
Oh, God.
Because he's got such a good CV.
He's not. Why would you go for Frank Lampard? I'd rather go for Conte.
They'd be better off going for Gerrard again, but no one could afford him anymore. This weekend's SPL Liga Celtic were triumphant again with a 3-1 victory over Kilmarnock. Goals from Rio, I can't say names, Hatate and Lewis Palmer in the first half gave the home side the lead. Kilmarnock midfielder David Watson got a goal back in the 72nd minute, but Celtic did enough to win the game. Greg Taylor added in a third before the finish. Celtic are now 7 points clear at the top after 8 games. Kilmarnock are 9th on 7 points. Hearts and Hibs drew 2-2 with both teams sharing the points. Hearts are now 4th in the table and Hibs dropped down to 9th. Aberdeen drew 0-0 with St Johnstone. Livingston beat Motherwell 2-0. Lennon Miller was sent off for Motherwell, and it got from bad to worse for the away side. A goalless first half, but Livingston took advantage of being a man up when Bruce Anderson scored just after half-time, and then a Sean Kelly penalty 5 minutes later confirmed all 3 points for Livingston. Livingston moved just above Motherwell in 6th, but both are now on 10 points. Dundee versus Ross County was postponed. And Rangers got back to winning ways with a 3-0 victory over St Mirren, the no-manager bounce. Ryan Strain was given a straight red in the 28th minute for handballing in the area. Rangers were given a penalty, which James Tavernier converted. Abdallah Simmer then got the second for Rangers, and a brace for Tavernier confirmed the win for the away side. Rangers have taken St Mirren's spot now as they climb to second, St Mirren below them in third, but they are both on 15 points. And Nick saying no, Lampard is not in the Rangers running. Thank goodness. Well done, Rangers. That's I'm glad that shot off. And Simon saying if he wasn't off to Birmingham, they could have gone after Rooney. I feel Birmingham. What are they doing? That is what happens when you get bad American celebrity owners. You end up sacking your manager who's lost hardly any games, just got the team performing well, to go after Wayne Rooney, the managerial success. Wayne Rooney, oh my days. And I haven't watched as much Bundesliga as I would have liked to have had this weekend because I've been frightfully busy. But some of the standout games to notice is RB Leipzig and Bochum 0-0. 0-0. RB Leipzig, very sort of up and downy sort of season. Podcast favourites from last season, Union Berlin, continue their slip slide. They're down to 13th now, not looking very good. With I think is this their 6th, their fifth defeat in a row, with Borussia Dortmund pumping them 4-2 now. Is very disappointing. But I think as Gav, if you had joined us last week at Primetime, Gav on, who covered the Bundesliga fabulously well for us, made me feel quite insignificant. But Borussia Dortmund starting to find a bit of form, and Lubitz as they beat Union Berlin 4-2. Bayern Munich, they won a game of football. Well done, Bayern Munich. 3-0 against Freiburg. And Kane didn't score, didn't get an assist. And but there were two other games that I would like to mention. Hoffenheim, just because I like to say the name Hoffenheim. Beat Werder Bremen 3-2. But Stuttgart, you'll notice, a second in the Bundesliga, keeping them above Bayern Munich with Guarassi scoring out of what are the games? They are on 7 games, but even now he scored a hat-trick on the weekend, taking him to, I believe, 14 goals in 7 games. He was a Fulham target last season. They didn't get him. He's now banging the goals in at Stuttgart, and some real classy FIFA goals that he's been scoring. The hat trick, two of the goals consisted of the one where you do that dummy where you go to pretend to kick, the player drops to the ground, and then you like go ha 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 and kick it past him, and another one where you rounded the keeper. Superb stuff. But everybody's favorite, your favorite of mine, Xavi Alonso, the most handsomest of all the football managers, to rival anyone with his inane ability. 3-0 victors against Cologne, never in doubt. Didn't look like they were going to worry at all. Victor Boniface, of course, in amongst the goals again. As Leverkusen, 19 points, top of Bundesliga, haven't lost a game yet. They've only drawn the one, and their form is on fire. They are absolutely on fire. Haven't lost in all competitions now. Absolutely doing fantastically well. Very exciting time for Bayer Leverkusen, and God willing, this would be exciting if this would be their season. But very interesting, competitive Bundesliga as well at the moment. Cologne on the bottom on 1 point. Mainz on 2 points in 17th place. Bochum on 4, and then Augsburg on 5, Werder Bremen on 6, as are Union Berlin and Gladbach. And you'd say there's not a massive jump, only 5 points between 17th and 12th, but with Cologne on 1 point after 7 games. That's not looking very good for them. And the Eredivisie, not a lot to talk about at the moment, other than Ajax continue to lose this week to AZ Alkmaar. Not going very well. They replay their game that all the fans tried to get called off against Feyenoord by throwing things on the pitch was replayed, and they lost it 4-0. And they're getting absolutely tumped all over the place. Ajax, all the way down in 16th. They're in the relegation playoff positions at the moment. Lord knows what's going to happen there. But PSV Eindhoven unbeaten, 8 games on the bounce. And AZ Alkmaar, second only draw in 1 game, not losing any. And Feyenoord also not losing the game, but they're in 4th. Just a point below FC Twente, if I recall correctly, was Steve McLaren's team. We got Dutch Steve. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check it out on YouTube. Dutch Steve McLaren. What a treat for everybody that was. And in Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain are not top yet, but they are making their way back up, beating Reims 3-1. Unfortunately, they're starting to do bits and pieces now, but some perform, which they will do. They'll be back top soon enough and spoiling everything else. But I know nothing that happened in Ligue 1 this week because I haven't seen any of it. So we'll move swiftly along. And that takes us to the end of the show. And thank you, everybody for being here. It was absolutely lovely and peachy to have you all. And of course, people will want to talk United. Hannah, they want to talk United nicely and not be mean to you because you say things that they don't like. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at United Han. It's in the little box here. Or TikTok, Han Talks Football, where it's less about United, more general.
And Lucas, everybody wants the suave, smooth, debonair, closet Spurs fan, outward Arsenal fan content. Where can they find you?
Crab Dribble on Twitch and TikTok, although streams might be a little bit limited over the next couple of months, but I'm aiming for a bit more consistency when the new FM comes out.
Oh, superb. And if you want to follow me for reasons I don't understand, my handles will be changing to. Do you know what? Actually, Nick's just put it in the chat. I did forget to mention Montpellier, whose claim was abandoned after the firework was launched at the goalkeeper. I'm not sure if anybody has seen this. It did go off just behind his feet and exploded. I'm not sure what happened to the keeper, but he did pass out and had to be stretchered off. So that wasn't very nice. And that is why we ban projectiles from football. But if you did want to follow me, I will be changing my Twitter handle soon because I shan't be doing any FM content going forward because I just haven't got the time, unfortunately. And when I have got the time, I like to play on my Xbox. But if you do want to follow me, I'm currently FMFO_official on Twitter and on TikTok. So if you would like nice conversation, I'm more than open for that. And if you do want to follow the podcast, please do. Up to 400 subscribers on YouTube at the moment, and that has boosted up massively over the last month, to be honest with you. So thank you to everybody who's subscribing. Thank you to all of our audio listeners. But if you do want to follow us, we are on Twitter at Absolute Ball Pod, on YouTube at Absolute Football Podcast, same thing on Twitch, on TikTok at Absolute Football Pod, Instagram, and on Threads, if we use it at any point. Threads is Absolute Football Podcast _ And then on Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast. Please, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do, because it's lovely. It's really, really nice. It makes everybody smiley, happy. And then just drop us a follow as well. Feel free to interact live with all of our chats. And we are also going to be on all the audio platforms in the morning. And of course, if you want more Absolute Football Podcasts, Thursdays, 8:30, it is absolutely lower league with Charlotte and their gang. I'm not sure if Charlotte's feeling any better at the moment. She might be there if she's feeling better. She's been poorly bad, so send her all of your love and good wishes, and join them on 8:30 on YouTube and Twitch live for Absolutely Lower League. And very soon we will have our Absolutely WSL is getting ready. Conversations with people are underway. We're very excited about the people that we're going to have there, so keep your eyes peeled. Thank you very much for joining us, TTFN.